Life is like an empty bowl. What you gonna write in it? Whatever you wanna say. Life is like an empty road. Where you gonna walk on it? Wherever you wanna go. We got hands, we got hearts. Let's get something starting, something. Starting something. Grab your keys, head out that door, and wondering what this all is for. See, life is like an empty bowl. Cook it up nice, some food for your soul. We got hands, we got a heart. Let's get some starting something, yeah. Starting something. And we going down that open road. Whoa, I want you to come along. No time to hesitate. Time is clicking on and on and on, and it won't wait. Oh, and why? Oh, oh, oh. Life is like an empty bowl. And life is like an empty cup. You pour on some love and you drink it on up. Pass it round, there's more to share. 'Cause all your friends, we're waiting here. Let's get something, come on, starting something. Let me hear you. Starting something, yeah. Starting something. Let's get something started, yeah.
Thank you so much, Laura. Let's get something started. I'm Margaret Martin. I will be your platform assistant today. And as you've heard, Laura is our musician, and the illustrious Roy Berkowitz will present our message today. And now for our centering prayer. The prayer that I've chosen is from James Dillett Freeman, who was a crony of the Fillmores, and to my mind, a profound theologian. I am there. Do you need me? I am there. You cannot see me, yet I'm the light you live by. You cannot hear me, yet I speak through your voice. You cannot feel me, yet I am the power at work in your hand. I am at work, though you do not understand my ways. I am at work, though you do not recognize my works. I am not strange visions. I am not mysterious. Only in absolute stillness, beyond self, can you know me as I am. And then, but as a feeling and a faith. Yet I am there, yet I hear, yet I answer. When you need me, I am there. Even in your pain, I am there. I am in you, and you are in me. Only in your mind can you feel separate from me, for only in your mind are the mists of yours and mine. Yet only in your mind can you experience me. Empty your heart of empty fears. When you get out of the way, I am there. You can, of yourself, do nothing, but I can do it all, and I am in all. Though you may not see the good is there, for I am there. I am there because I am. Only in me does the world have meaning. Only out of me does the world take form. Only because of me, the world goes forward. I am the law on which the movement of the stars and the growth of living cells are formed. I am the love that is laws fulfilling. I am assurance. I am peace. I am oneness. I am the law that you can live by. I am the law that you can cling to. And again, I am the law that is, I am the love that is the laws fulfilling. I am assurance. I am peace. I am oneness. I am the love that you can cling to.
Thoughts and dreams have lingered deep inside my mind. What I truly wanted, I could not seem to find. I spent a long, long time searching far and wide, till I heard that small voice whisper, look inside and listen to your heart. It's calling, listen to your heart. It's longing, listen to your heart. It's calling you. Listen to your heart. It's crying from the very start. It's been trying, calling you inside to a love so true. Floating on a river, set my sails up high. I'm trying hard to catch that wind. I want to learn to fly. The winds of joy are blowing. The sun lights up the sky. And if you stop and listen, you hear that freedom cry. Just listen to your heart. It's calling, listen to your heart. It's longing, listen to your heart. It's calling you. Listen to your heart. It's crying from the very start. It's been trying, calling you inside to a love so true. Sometimes I hear my thoughts are spinning like a roller coaster ride, turning me around and dragging me down, and nowhere I can hide. Like fluorescent lights attracting me, dazzling and distracting, till I stop and hear that little voice whispering inside. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. Listen to your heart. It's calling, listen to your heart. It's longing, listen to your heart. It's calling you. Oh, listen to your heart. It's crying from the very start. It's been trying, calling you inside. Calling you inside. Calling you inside. Calling you.
Thank you so much, Laura. I'm sitting here looking at the title of my talk, and I'm just thinking about, I can listen to my heart when I'm in a state of awareness, not so much when I'm thinking. So that was a great lead-in. Morning, mighty companions. So this morning, I want to share some of my spiritual issues. This is just between us. I'm invoking spiritual confidentiality, okay? All right. I don't always believe that I'm one with God, with spirit. I sometimes don't see the divinity, the Christ in everyone. Yeah, it's true. At times, I've decided how life should treat me, and when I do that, my peace of mind is based on that happening. Life says, meet me or fight me, and at times, I fight. I have negative thoughts sometimes. Okay, lots of times. And I judge others. I can be very critical. We'll save some of my other issues for my next talk. I recently turned 75, and I'm still doing some of these things. As a client with HIV who was a long-term survivor told me years ago, survival has consequences. Anyway, how do I know I'm doing these things? And how do I know when I'm doing these things? What superpower am I gifted with that you're all gifted with too? Awareness. I've spoken about awareness before. I've been especially aware and grateful for it recently. When I am aware, I can decide to choose again. How many times have we heard that on Sundays? Even if it's not the spiritual, peaceful choice, even if it's not a balanced choice, I have freedom to choose again. First, Karen Gray reminded us years ago, we are choice makers. Identities are usually thought of as concrete, but no matter how deeply programmed we might be, you and I are choice makers. To be one, I need to be aware of my behavior. Notice I don't say I need to judge my behavior. I need to be aware of it before making a choice to do, to say, to think something different. Two roads diverged in a wood, and I get to choose. The road with a sign that says suffering for the next 20 miles or relative peace. I usually start off on the former road. Start off there. And that might not change. That groove, that habit is very deep, still automatic. Kayla McClurg says much of the soul's soil is packed hard on paths of worry and hurry as we pace from one cause to another, one appointment to another, our brains plotting the same old anxious grooves. When the seeds of a new idea, a fresh perspective come, are we even apt to take notice, let alone act, before they are gobbled up by the familiar urgencies that make their endless rounds? Familiar urgencies, paths of worry and hurry. Are we apt even to take notice, to be aware? And if not, how can we pause? As Course in Miracles says, in the midst of it, it does seem real. And it tells us, remember, you can see the battle from above. View it from the balcony, Eckhart Tolle says, because that's the eye that is observing the process. Pausing, that's making a choice. Awareness, I'll choose to pause to get distance, for in the midst of it, it does seem real. Or as one author put it, and I really like this metaphor, a caterpillar crawls across intricately designed oriental carpet, and there's nothing but endless series of colors changing. But the butterfly, flying above the carpet, can see the pattern. Most of us are the caterpillar, and we see a small piece of the big picture. Awareness bridges perception and knowledge serves as foundation for conscious thought, self-reflection, and understanding. And what does that open up? The possibility of choosing again, that I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt the course. Because I can go down the other road, or a third one that is better coffee, or a fourth one, or whatever. Consciousness shaped those conditions, those choices. Consciousness can transform them. We need to learn from the past, not live in it. Often I allow something larger than myself to remind me that I can do things differently, think differently. It might be something, it might be someone, it might be one of you. Having a more balanced, less reactive perspective at the moment. A few years ago, I was at a friend's house. I'd done something to my foot, my ankle, and we were watching TV that night, and every few minutes, I touch it, press it, just to see if it had healed. It hadn't. But still, I knew as a healer that pressing it often would help it to heal faster. You know what I mean? So I check. Still there? Oh. 2 minutes later. Are you? Ow. 3 minutes, a whole 3 minutes. Pain, are you gone? How about now? All better. All right, at what point I pressed too hard and said, ouch. And she said, oh, for God's sake, stop making yourself hurt. Whoa, stop making yourself hurt. I looked at her and I said, that's a metaphor for so many other things in my life. In that one moment, she captured something so powerful for me in those simple words. My obsessing, some of my thinking, some of my behaviors, they do not put me in charge. They don't hasten my healing. They don't give me control. They do make me hurt, suffer. In The Thunder of Silence, Joel Goldsmith says, the secret lies in making the transition from a thinking human mind to a mind at rest in a state of awareness. Waking up from what Tara Brach calls the trance of thinking to a state of awareness, to observe, notice, not get sucked into the whirlwind of thoughts. So experience the discomfort. I sprained my ankle. It's painful. Don't let my thoughts self-generate and dominate me. Being alone. Oh my God, sprained my ankle. I'm going to be without friends. I'm going to have no food. Oh my God, I'm going to go bald. All because I sprained my ankle. Stop making yourself hurt. Don't deny the hurt, the pain. At the same time, don't overthink and set up camp there. Thoughts, which can lead to biochemistry of fear, lead to more thoughts and more chemicals rushing through our veins. Buddha gives us a metaphor. We've talked about this before. It's a metaphor that's been helpful to me. He said, anytime we experience misfortune or pain, 2 arrows fly our way. First arrow is the actual event. We might label it as bad, unpleasant. We can't always control, and it indeed could cause pain, discomfort, sadness. In this case, I hurt my foot. The second arrow are the thoughts that go through our minds in response to the first arrow. We add something to that initial unpleasantness. We have an experience, then we add a third arrow and a fourth, and so on and so on. And those arrows deepen my suffering. But I am a choice maker. So those arrows are optional. I sprained my ankle. It was painful. Ouch, that hurts. First arrow. Unfortunate. It sucks. But I have a choice as how to proceed next. What drove the majority of my suffering wasn't my sprained ankle. It was the arrows that follow. The ones that I shoot which differentiate from the actual event and why I keep on checking for the pain. Those arrows consist of the self-messages. I pile on top of the pain. All those things I'm telling myself, which are sometimes like an old freight train barreling through my mind. How could I be so stupid? Who left the chair there anyway? Oh my God, I won't be able to go tonight maybe. Oh, will I have to go to the doctor's? What? Oh, what if he puts me on crutches? Oh my God, that would be terrible. How will this affect the peace talks in the Middle East? Oh, let me just touch it again to see. Ouch. An exaggeration? Maybe. But think how you exaggerate. Some of us are off and running. As we grieve, lament, beat our breasts, obsess, become distraught from some of the things we tell ourselves. I'm not sure we can do much about having thoughts. But like a Unity friend told me years ago, sometimes we have thoughts, that's not the problem. It's that sometimes we believe them. We believe them when we feed those thoughts. Feed them morsels of catastrophizing, spoonfuls of shoulds, supersized portions of worry, and in doing so, feeding our suffering, and we are setting up camp there. So, to bring it up to today, recently I did something to my rib. Not broken, called a contusion. Not confusion, Drew, a contusion, which is, I guess they call it a bruise, okay? What did I do? I touched it here. Are you gone yet? Let me see. No. Oh, no, you're okay. A minute's gone. Let me check it again. Ouch. What if and I chose to pause. An awareness visited me. My friend's words came back to me. Stop making yourself hurt. So I might not start with my friend's words. Remember, I said that the old groove, the habit's still deep, automatic. I'd like to, but I might not. Each day, I'm getting closer to some of those new roads. It's so important to be careful of how we're talking to ourselves because we're listening. Our thoughts are prayers. And by the way, whose voice is that when you talk to yourself? Does spirit speak or does your wounded self speak? It's hard to distinguish between the two, says Henri Nouwen. We torture ourselves shooting those multiple internal arrows when we separate from spirit. If we don't feel good, mentally, physically, how can we get back to feeling good? And how can we live there? Awareness lets me know I may as well rail against gravity. Haven't done that yet. We need to separate thinking and awareness because, as Joel Goldsmith said, thinking and awareness are separate experiences. Thinking generates mental contents, judgments, plans, memories, the future. And so much of that is compulsive, repetitive, habitual. While awareness is the silent observing witness, which helps us not to be absorbed in thoughts. It is knowledge, perception of a situation or fact. Awareness is this moment. Awareness helps me continue to notice my limited view. Spirit, help me see this as you would see it. Help me not choose eyeglasses from Ralph Lauren's Fear Collection or Anne Klein's Specks of Sadness. Let me be the butterfly, not the caterpillar. Help us see this as you would see it, to change our mind, see things from a new perspective, and to choose again. Not always easy, is it? So we come here to unity, to be reminders for each other, to help us learn, actually unlearn, undo what we've learned. We come to unity to help shift our perception, to remember we have a choice. If we don't like what we're feeling now, there's another way. And I want to be clear, I'm talking about more balanced thinking, not necessarily rosy or what's called positive thinking, just more balanced. And no matter how many decades we come here, take truth classes, study, spend time with Jan Smoot, we still might initially start off on bumpy roads, painful ones, so deeply lodged in our brains. That's okay. At least I think that's okay. Don't berate yourself for that. Be aware, choose to pause, and choose again. You may toggle between 2 or 3 or 4 roads. You may go back and forth. You may immediately take refuge in the familiar hell of feeling insufficient or having no control. But feel your power in being able to choose again, to not stay committed to the old path, to make a choice you might not have made yesterday. Again, consciousness shaped those choices. Consciousness can transform them. If you had a tally at the end of the week, or let's say at the end of the day, a tally of how much time you spent, a tally of how you've spent your time, a tally of how you spent your time, how much of it would be thinking thoughts that are hurtful to you? How much of it would be worrying, obsessing, not forgiving, holding on to fear, anger, or doing actions, saying words that are hurtful to you? What is your purpose being here? And just what does hurting yourself have to do with that purpose? Jan, can we have that slide? So think about our affirmative intentions of our ministry that we say every week. And think about the next time we get near the bottom and you say, you're asking to be guided in the right direction so that you fulfill your divine purpose on earth. You might not know your divine purpose, but I'm guessing you know that thinking thoughts that are hurtful to you ain't it. Thanks, Jen. Remember the monks? Or monks that walked from Fort Worth, Texas to Washington, D.C. in 108 days. One monk spoke at the National Cathedral February 10th. He said, they didn't walk to bring us peace, but to raise our awareness of it. Wow, walking for awareness. And he talked about the world within us and said, we've wild animals within us who are ready to eat us up. Ooh, now, we kind of know that, but hearing a Buddhist monk say that, it was like, oh my God. Anyway, that's probably why Reverend Gray told us last month to be diligent of thought. That's a lot of work. So is running from those wild animals. Pema Chedron suggests we do more than be aware. She says to rejoice when we're able to acknowledge that we're caught in an old pattern and catch ourselves, not to berate ourselves, but to rejoice. And let me add another layer to this. Many of you know Sharon Salzberg. She writes some wonderful stuff. Although Sharon Salzberg says the quality of our life depends on our awareness, the quality of our life depends on our awareness. Awareness, when I was writing this, awareness alone is not the answer. Awareness for awareness' sake is what? An intellectual exercise, an A+ for self-knowledge? Look how my inner dialogue is so repetitive and unproductive, so hurtful. Well, I certainly do overthink things, but I'm aware of that. Great. Awareness includes responsibility for choices. We are aware. Wonderful. What do we do with it? Are we waiting to take action? Let me address that by tapping another part of your brain. Jan, can I have the next slide? Autobiography in 5 Short Chapters by Portia Nelson. Chapter 1, I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I am lost. I am helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Chapter 2, I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend I don't see it. I fall in again. I can't believe I'm in the same space, but it isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. So notice in these, there's awareness. There's clearly awareness of the hole, but not a responsibility to do something different, to take another action. Next slide, please, Jan. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit, but my eyes are open. I know where I am. It is my fault. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There is a deep hole in the sidewalk. I walk around it. So here we have the awareness. I am aware of the hole in the street. And I am aware of my responsibility. It is my fault. And with this awareness and owning a responsibility, I take an action. Chapter 3, I choose to get out immediately. Chapter 4, I walk around it. And Jan, can we see chapter 5? I choose yet another action. I walk down another street. I was introduced to this poem when I worked in a psychiatric hospital. I did a group with a bibliotherapist. She uses poetry as a way to help the patient share, explore, and address issues in a more creative way. And she used this a lot with folks in recovery. And it was pretty amazing. I sat in on one group. She would do different things with it. Which chapter are you in? How can you add to that? What's it like being there? Where would you like to be? What steps do you take? Sometimes she would have them write it out. Sometimes she would have them stand up. Anyway, I walked down another street. Maybe one of our divine purposes is to help one another to put feet on their prayers, to move from awareness to action. We convince ourselves that we can't choose another road until something outside of ourselves shifts, waiting for life to be different before we live it, says Tom. We settle into the belief that change isn't possible right now. Terry Loopberger, in her book Uncommon Wisdom at Work, reminds us we might be waiting for life to give us a permission slip that is never coming. Not waiting, she says, shifts where you place your power. Instead of locating it in external circumstances, conditions, you bring it back to the present moment and to yourself. You reclaim your capacity to live from presence, from choice, from trust, and you stop handing your future over to someone else. She says the cost of waiting is high and reminds us it all starts with the awareness that you're even waiting as a way of being. In ending, I'll bet you have a vision of the world you'd like to live in. You are a choice maker. Are you willing to pay the price of waiting? Many blessings, my dear ones. And now we're at the time we call meditation, where we go inward, breathe comfortably, feel supported by what we are resting on, experience an alert stillness that listens. And we notice our thoughts as they come and go. Notice concerns. Notice the planning, the judgments. Notice the anticipations and the moments of joy. Welcome them, all of them. And let them go easily. As if they were clouds passing slowly, gently, flowing by with ease. If you're holding onto a pleasant thought, know that it is your choice. Not bad, not good, but your choice. If you're holding onto a hurtful thought, know that that's also your choice. What can you do to stop hurting yourself? Let it pass. It may come again and again. Let it pass. Is spirit speaking? Or is that your wounded self? Divine guidance is not only found in burning bushes or mind-blowing revelations. More often, it arrives as gentle nudges, the daily word. As we enter the silence, see what arises, and be aware of the gentle nudges. What are you aware of at this very moment? See if you could let that go and focus on your breathing. And let your breathing guide you and return you to your space. And let the room welcome you. And as you return to the day, as you return to your life, remember that in the divine presence, you are guided. And so it is.
Oh, they may bend us, but they'll never break us. I will defend us each step of the way. You could grow weary, but not when you're near me. Lean close now and hear me, and I will whisper your name. You are strength, you are patience, you are faith, and this is your day. We are a force no wind can shatter. I see the light, that's all that matters. We are strength, we are patience, we are faith. This is your day. Storm clouds are blowing, the world shouting no, but when I look in your eyes, I see what's inside. There's a fire in your soul, and no one can hold you. Such to decide, so just decide. and fly, fly. We gonna fly. Oh, you are strength. We are patience. We are faith. And this is our day. This is our day. Ooh, oh yeah. Fly, 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 oh fly. We're gonna fly, yeah. Ooh, Thank you.
And so now for the closing prayer. I guess some of you know I've been into John O'Donohue lately. And this is a piece that John wrote for equilibrium. Like the joy of the sea coming home to shore, may the relief of laughter rinse through your soul. As the wind loves to call things to dance, may your gravity be lightened by grace. Like the dignity of moonlight restoring the earth, may your thoughts incline with reverence and respect. As water takes whatever shape it is in, so free may you be about who you become. As silence smiles on the other side of what's said, may your sense of irony bring perspective. As time remains free of all that it frames, may your mind stay clear of all of its names, and may your prayer of listening deepen enough to hear in the depths the laughter of God.